Okay, some very, very big news indeed. OpenAI have announced and demoed Sora, a text-to-video model that can generate videos of up to 1 minute in length, in breathtaking quality and faithfully to the prompt. Not only that, it can extend video, making it infinitely more useful. Now, none of this is amazing until you see how scarily good some of these videos actually are. You can see some examples on the OpenAI Sora website, and as you can see, they are, pretty incredible. It's quite hard to detect any signs of AI. I'm sure you can find them if you look carefully. I've already seen some people with hands that were a bit twisted or some of the transition shots that didn't look quite right, but they are far better than any AI videos I've seen up until now. Now, as well as the examples here, you can see some examples on Twitter where Sam Altman announced Sora. I found this comment from Mr. Beast quite funny. Sam, please don't make me homeless. And he goes on to say, we'll generate a video for you. What would you like? And he says a monkey playing chess in a park. And here you have it, a monkey playing chess in a park. That chessboard doesn't look quite correct and people are commenting on that, but it's still pretty incredible. So it wasn't long after that was suggested. So it does seem like these videos are genuinely just prompt based and it can generate them pretty quick. Marcus Brownlee has many questions. Now this runs off prompts, but you can also seed it with videos so it can extend them, which is very critical to making this tool useful rather than anything more than a toy. You don't want continuity errors in your video where background is subtly different or clothes don't match or any detail is disjointed. Now, I know video generation isn't completely new, but video generation at this level of quality is new and it will be a major disruptor. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've had numerous conversations in recent years about AI and LLMs, and there's always someone that talks about them just being prediction engines and guessing the next word, so their material impact is quite limited. Well, that argument, at least about the broader AI technologies, will be put to rest when people see how good this video content really is. All right, so as I mentioned, video gen was already available, but it wasn't perfect. You have Pika, you have Stability AI's Stable Video Diffusion, you have Runway ML, and there are others. But if you have a look at the videos produced, so for example, from Runway, if you look at their Gen 2 promo video, you can see that it's a bit bitty. I'll just play a bit of it here so you can see what I mean. And I'm not saying this existing video tech wasn't impressive, but you could easily see signs of AI and they were much less disruptive in the current form compared to something like Sora. And so if you asked anybody familiar with AI tech, they would have said that high quality video generation is coming. It's just a matter of time and there would be a ready market for it. But I don't think anybody expected it to be quite this good this soon. All right, so let's dig a tiny bit deeper. Sora is a new model from OpenAI. The word Sora means sky in Japanese and also a small bird found mostly in North America. It can be prompted or seeded with an existing video to produce up to a 1 minute long video. If the examples are anything to go by, these videos are of exceptional quality. It's trained on text conditional diffusion transformer models. DALL-E and GPT research, of course, fed into all of this, not to mention massive scale compute. So who has access? Well, for now, it's red teamed, which means that basically they are testing it, trying to break it, check it for possible safety issues, that kind of thing. They've also released it to a number of creatives to see what they can come up with. This group consists of visual artists, filmmakers, and designers. So now that you've seen how good this technology is, I'm sure that you would agree with me in considering this a very, very disruptive technology. Now imagine the implications on filmmakers that do this for a living, stock video makers, distribution platforms, people wanting to misinform people, whether it's political or personal. Think of the countless camera and lighting folks, the camera film equipment hire companies, set builders, supporting industries, all of that you can just generate now with a few prompts. And what about consumers of video and informational content? Well, I would say that the quality of everything that you're going to see is likely to just get better. The only limitation really will be your ability to come up with a prompt. These really are crazy times that we're living through. Now, some other interesting things that this could be used for educational or interest purposes. Imagine you are interested in a particular period of history, say the Spanish Civil War, early Arabia, a typical day for villagers in Egypt under the pharaohs. Well, now you can visualize it and maybe get a pretty good idea of what it would look like in terms of accuracy if these tools have learned from all the historical info that's out there, along with all the visual information that they're trained on, which is something that I would personally love to try as soon as I get my hands on Sora. Now, another important thing to consider is cost. Image generation in AI timescales has been here for a while now. We've been very impressed, but a lot of the created images could also be done by a graphic designer, and most of the time they wouldn't cost the earth. Now, compare that to Sora, where you could also create these videos in the traditional way, but the cost proportionally of a realistic video, where they're often filmed on location with expensive sets and actors. The difference between the cost of that and using Sora is absolutely ridiculous. So I really think that that completely changes the landscape. So if you want to know more about the research techniques, there is a research techniques section on the Sora website. If we take a look at that, it says Sora is a diffusion model which generates video by starting off with one that looks like static noise and gradually transforms it by removing the noise over many steps. It's capable of generating entire videos or extending them. And by giving the model foresight of many frames at a time, they've solved the challenging problem of making sure a subject stays the same, even when it goes out of view temporarily. It uses a transformer architecture similar to GPT, unlocking superior scaling performance. And there's examples of where the scale of compute increases. You can see the improvement in the videos, which I'll show you in a second. And it goes into a little bit more detail here, but the real clincher for me is this section here, which says, in addition to being able to generate videos solely from text instructions, the model is able to take an existing still image and generate a video from it, animating the image's contents with accuracy and attention to small detail. The model can also take existing video and extend it or fill in missing frames. And it talks about Sora taking us a step closer to AGI. If you want to know more, there's a link to video generation models as world simulators, which is their technical research paper. And this goes into a lot more detail about how they've created these with some nice diagrams. And you can see what we mentioned earlier about scaling and how it improves as the scale increases. And you can see that here with base compute. You can see that it's obviously AI and not doing very well. It starts to improve. You can still tell that it's AI. And then you can see here with enough compute, it's almost indistinguishable from reality. It talks about how it can sample different resolutions of widescreen and vertical videos. And you can see multiple videos here with their prompts, and you can see that they're getting a lot better at representing hands. Although if you look carefully, you can still see some problems with hand representations, especially when they're moving. So that's probably the easiest way to detect whether these are AI videos or not. It goes into a bit more detail about prompting with images, and you can see this image becomes animated here, which again looks pretty incredible. This drone style footage looks particularly cool. By the way, if you want to know more, there are other videos on YouTube which go into a lot more details. So first up, there's the OpenAI Sora video, which I highly recommend checking out. There's also Fireship's video, which goes into a bit more technical details, and his videos are always entertaining. There's also 2 Minute Papers video on OpenAI Sora, which came out quite soon, so it might be lacking in some of the technical details which he normally tends to go through. And there's also Marcus Brownlee's video on how this is going to impact and change the filmmaking industry. All right, so I've reviewed quite a few AI tools on this very channel, and the first tools that really impressed me were the code suggestion, code completion type tools. But what OpenAI Sora can do is absolutely crazy. We knew it was coming, but the speed of these developments means that I just don't think that people or industries or education are capable of reacting as quickly as these changes are coming, and they are coming thick and fast. Now, people have commented on some of the shortcomings of Sora, with the tiny mistakes with the hands and a few other small imperfections which you can detect. But many films made by professionals also contain continuity errors and numerous other mistakes. So it's not like we are comparing something that's imperfect with things that were perfect. They are in fact both imperfect. And so seeing what Sora is capable of producing, I do think there'll be some major changes to the filmmaking industry and related industries. And if you are a young person studying in a field that is being impacted by AI, I would be really interested to know what the talk on the ground is at colleges and universities, and the advice you're being given from your professors and colleagues and other advisors on how to navigate this new landscape. So if you have any such info, please do share it in the comments below. I'm Saeed, the Codogrammer. Let me know what you think of Sora. And if you don't want to be the last to know about important AI, tech, and programming news, be sure to hit subscribe. Thank you for watching.